A very good evening to everyone. I'm Dr. Tushinungla and I will be the host for today's webinar on self-defense for women organized by the Sports Committee, St. John College, Dimapur. Respected principal, the speaker, all the faculties and my dear students, I warmly welcome you to this program. Now, to begin the program, I would call upon Ms. Yarmungla, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, for the invocation. You may now take the time.
Let me pray. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for making all things possible. Thank you for placing us today with the wonderful opportunity to meet virtually and learn together in this awesomely exciting webinar. May your blessing of wisdom and guidance be upon us all through the sharing and impartition of knowledge by our resource speaker. We humbly commit every part of this webinar to you. All this we pray in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Yarmungla. Now I call the principal of St. John College, Professor Janetius, for the welcome address. Sir, you may take your time.
Thank you, Toshinungla. Can you hear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah. It's a pleasure to see all of you in the evening to have this small program on self-defense. I know Chetan in Bangalore. I have a few memories about him. I have a few memories in the sense. One memory I have is that he has a beautiful car, and one day he dropped me to the bus station. So that I remember. He has a very, very beautiful, exciting car. So he's fond of cars, that I know. Another thing I remember about our guest speaker today is that he is fond of martial arts, that I know, because he used to do it in the classroom sometimes. He has done one time in the college also. And also, after I come to Nagaland, he used to ask me, "Oh, can I come to your college and have some training there for me?" I'm really glad to invite him. I was talking about the memories I have about Chetan. One real memory I have is that he one time told me in the classroom, I don't know whether he remembers now, that he wants to become an arms dealer. My God. Because he is actually in the martial arts, self-defense. Now maybe arms dealer, I don't know whether he has any arms dealing. Now I have no idea. Maybe he will explain that if he has. But he is fully involved in martial arts. That I can say that he's committed himself, and he does regular exercise. I am not that good in martial arts, even though I studied karate when I was young. But I was not able to use it anywhere, and I was not able to give any punch to even a single person in my life because there was no chance to use it. But I studied actually some karate. I still remember when I was small. We used to practice 3 days in a week, and one day, Sunday morning, we go to the seashore to practice there. So it was a really exciting period. How it helped me, maybe it gave me a lot of self-confidence that I can even fight with people, maybe as a kind of self-confidence. Another thing, as I exercise, I like to be fit all the time, even though I am reaching my retiring period. I like to be young and agile all the time. Even now, I don't practice martial arts now, but I go for shuttlecock now here practice, and I go for regular exercise, walking. And earlier I used to play volleyball and basketball, but I keep myself agile. So in that way, probably Chetan is very good resource person to inspire you, young people. The need for self-defense. Self-defense is not necessarily all the time you have to use. At least it will give you some kind of confidence that you can challenge people. So that is what I got actually when I studied karate. Even though I did not utilize it, I got it. I got the self-confidence. That is more important. Coming to our, let me not take too much time. They have already put in the schedule that 5 minutes. So let me not, I'll give more time for our guest speaker. I congratulate the sports team, Uttam and Co. Uttam and his associates for organizing this program. And maybe when we have, once this pandemic and everything is over, we will invite him to give 1 day, full day training for our students so that you will have a better understanding of reality than what we see in the web. Okay, so I welcome all of you, especially the special guest. Even though he has a tight schedule, he has accommodated us. His schedule today is a festival day even, but still he is ready to spare some time for us. So I'm really thankful to the resource person as well as to the sports committee for organizing this program. I also welcome all the students who are participating in this program, and please utilize this one. This is for you to know, for you to develop, for you to enjoy. So let me finish my words with these small words, and then let me wish all of you a nice, enjoyable, informative session today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of encouragement. It motivates us to do more. Thank you so much. I now give time to Ms. Nijam, Assistant Professor Environmental Science, for introducing the speaker for today's webinar. Miss, you may take your time.
Okay, fine then. It's a pleasure, okay, to introduce our guest speaker of today's webinar, Mr. Chetan N Murthy, who will be speaking on self-defense for women. So he has got a second degree black belt in unarmed combat, and he has been trained under the most competent authorities in various combat arts, and he is also very much well versed in Western boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and MMA, and he was also got a master degree in psychological counseling, as well as he stresses mainly on the mental aspects of fighting. So if I happen to miss out anything regarding him, sir, he will he would introduce himself more on that. So I hope through him, every one of us, we will get inspired from him, as well as we will get some good defense knowledge from him. So I would like to give this time to our guest speaker, Mr. Chetan N Murthy. So please, sir, you may take your time now. The time is all yours.
Thank you, Professor Janetius, and thank you for the sports committee for organizing this. It's actually my pleasure to reach out to as many people as possible, because self-defense honestly is for everybody. It's not limited to somebody who's strong or somebody who's weak, or it's not limited to somebody of the fairer sex. So it encompasses among everybody. Everybody can do it because everybody's got the ability. So what I believe is all of us have some attributes which we need to harness. It may be mental, it may be physical. Even in physical, some may be agile, as Professor Janetius said. Some may be strong, some may be mentally strong. Some may have more stamina. So each of us have attributes. If we don't have attributes as human beings, all of us have the ability to develop the other attributes. So what is important, basically, I'm giving you a general overview. This is not only martial arts, this is everything else as well. We have, as human beings, we have a prefrontal cortex. We have the ability to develop what we don't have. And here what we do is we recognize what are your capabilities, what are your, I wouldn't say deficiencies, what you probably lack in and what you can develop. So that's what we look at. And I'd like to thank Professor Janetius. I'm remembering all the times we had in college. He remembers my car, so I'm like pretty surprised. So unfortunately, what we generally do is I have my students along with me and we demonstrate, but I think this platform is not possible. So I will continuously speak, and you can interject me if you have any doubts at any point in time, and then I can reply. And also I would like to have a question and answer session, because each of you all will have a different doubt. What I'm going to speak about is generic. You might have a specific doubt. So my request is ask me the questions. That will be more helpful, because each of your situation is different. Each of your life experiences are different. Maybe I can like give you answers. Maybe not. You can contact me. I'll give you my number also later. So can we start, sir?
Yes, you can start. You can start. You can. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So first of all, why do we need to protect ourselves? See, we live in a society. Usually, we are with friends. Usually, we are with family. But sometimes your friend and family is not there. So you need to have the ability to recognize and have the perception to develop when there is danger, when there is no danger, and then accordingly act. So we need to be aware that we don't have the support system with us always. Secondly, you are not weak. Whether you're a woman or whether you're a guy, you are not weak. You have the ability. So it's not about exercise or it's not about the fitness, but it's about the right mindset, how to fight, and what to do during a crisis situation. And also, very importantly, sometimes the support systems fail, where the society, maybe it's an empty road where there is nobody. Maybe you can't call for help, so you need to act. Maybe it's running away, maybe it's fighting. So you need to see how you need to act. So what we focus on is known as the 3 A's. The first A is known as awareness, the second A is known as anticipation, and the third A is known as action. So when it comes to awareness, especially for women, we need to see the statistics. So you need to understand that danger is lurking every time around the corner. It's not something that you read the newspapers. It can happen to you. See, always when we read something, we'll be like, "Oh my God, it might not happen to me. It's happened to somebody." But it's a very small probability, but there's a probability that it can happen to you. So you need to be aware. You need to be conscious of the situation, and there is a possibility that it can happen to you. So have the mindset and be ready. And also, the danger is closer than you think. The danger might be someone whom you know very well. In fact, in rape cases, we've seen that most of the perpetrators are already known to the person. So it's just because if you know that person doesn't mean you can trust that person. Third awareness is the law is your ally. In India, luckily, not many people are aware. Most of the laws are women friendly. So even if it is a small eve teasing, it's a non-bailable warrant against that person. Forget about molestation and rape. So even the smallest crimes against women, you can report to the police station and the police will take action. It's just that we are hesitant. We are aware. We are scared what society might tell us, whether we will get labeled, etc., etc. So that is why we are scared to go and inform the police or inform anybody. It's known as the fear of ostracization, where we think that people will look down on us if we complain. But honestly, that's not the case. If any small incident happens, we need to report it. Looking at statistics in India, it's in fact very startling that in every 22 minutes, a woman gets raped. And now, digital age, it's gone crazy. You probably would have heard of, or you all would have experienced, right? Online stalking, spamming, shamming, defamation, and so on and so forth. So the crime need not be rape or molestation. All these can happen, and all these can leave a great psychological effect on a human being, whether it's a man or a woman. Some of the pointers which you know that in case of rape and molestation, offenders are often known to victims. In fact, in 94.4% of the rape cases. And there is torture to women, that's again increased. There's intent to outrage of modesty, that is teasing or calling women names or acting in an inappropriate manner, insult to modesty. There's also kidnapping and abduction. And in fact, in a city like Bangalore, this is much higher than probably a place like yours. So we've seen that in metros, because of the population, because of the close proximity of men and women, as compared to probably a slightly less populated place, there is a much more chance of these crimes happening, perpetrations happening against women. And in fact, India has been voted as one of the most unsafe countries, and much more higher than Afghanistan or Syria or any of the Arabic countries, or so-called what we think that where women are actually mistreated. In fact, India is the most dangerous country for women as per a survey. See, all of y'all should be aware that there are some other crimes against women, and also these need to be reported, which nobody knows about. There is assault, there's insult. Even insult to the modesty of women comes under section 509 of the IPC, which you can go and complain. There is torture. Torture need not be physical torture, it can be mental torture. Somebody stalking you, somebody sending you SMSs, somebody harassing you on WhatsApp, somebody sending you photos, so on and so forth. So there's also homicide, there's dowry, there's importation of girls to foreign countries for prostitution and other illegal trade. So all these are crimes against women, and you as a woman need to know that these can happen to you, and you need to be aware of your rights, and then you can go and complain, even the smallest of small things. Coming to how women are in danger, teasing is rampant. I'm sure all of y'all would have got eve teased, all of y'all would have been made uncomfortable, especially in public spaces and residential areas. Another common feature what we've seen is known as stalking. A lot of people, you might have seen some boys following you, any people which you as women get scared. So constantly following from one place to another place. Harassment. So harassment, it can be sexual of nature, it can be non-sexual. It happens in offices, in pubs, in discos. Molestation, again, on the streets, in trains, in buses, in malls. Assault, it could be even acid attack. A woman might have repelled a guy because she's not interested. So in revenge, the guy could have done an acid attack on her. And even this is increasing. And rape, everybody is aware of. So how do you, like, in fact, even before happening, how do you prevent it? So one key aspect, as I earlier mentioned to you, is anticipation. See, you need to be vigilant, you need to be prepared, and you need to run this in your mind many times. One is the physicality of the aspect. See, you need not be strong, you need not be big, you need not be tall. Even fitness is not a requirement. You need to know where to hit, when to hit, otherwise get out of the situation if the odds are against you. So the practice of combative skills is more important in this case. Knowing the areas of weakness, what are the areas of weakness in a man, and then when to run, when to flee, when not to fight. Another aspect is the mental aspect. Basically, here we need to visualize. We need to prepare for the situations. We need to run the situations again and again in our head. So actually when it happens, right, it's not so bad. You know, okay, I've run this. This is what I need to know. You're not in a panic mode. See, when you're in panic mode, your adrenaline is in overdrive mode. Your hormones are activated. You don't know what to do. You're not using your head. You're more using your hypothalamus. So we want to avoid this situation, and therefore it is imperative that you prepare both physically and mentally. Again, one more aspect of physical preparation is muscle memory. If you keep doing a repetitive action, like for example, a punch or a kick or an elbow or a knee, it becomes part of your muscle memory. Like how when you in the morning, when you get up, you brush your teeth or you eat, you don't have to think, right? You do it instantaneously. Similarly, a kick or a punch may be difficult initially, but then you keep repeating, you keep repeating, you keep repeating. There's no other formula. It becomes part of you. It becomes part of your muscle. So when you're in a tight situation, it automatically comes out. You don't even have to think. So that is the kind of preparation we are talking about. Third, anticipation is knowing your surroundings and reducing the risk. Your chance of survival increases when you avoid. Like for example, you know certain streets, there are no street lights, or you know that during certain time of the day, maybe in the night, you need to avoid such areas. So either avoid such areas or come with your friends, come in a big group so that you can potentially not get into the situation itself in the first place. Okay, so as I said, the mental aspect is you need to imagine the worst. If you don't imagine the worst, and you can't react with aggression. In fact, it's again known as the flight of or freeze mode. When you're in freeze mode, you won't be able to do anything. So it's better to flee than to freeze. So this is what we recommend. Some of the do's and don'ts I just want to go about. Parking in well-lit areas if you're returning late. Don't avoid dark alleys. Don't stop on empty stretches on highways. This is very unsafe. You don't know who's going to mug you. You might get abducted. So that is very important. Always keep your cell phone battery charged before traveling. This is especially very important for women because you might go out to a party, you might be coming with an auto driver, you might be coming with a cab, but your phone is not charged. So this is very important. You need to have a speed dial, your friends, your family. If you're in trouble, you need to just get to them. Keep emergency contacts. So that is important. Inform at least one person of your agenda. Suppose you're going out in the night, it's important that you inform somebody because in case something untowards happen to you, they at least know where to look for you, where they need to inform the police. See, this is recommended that you carry a loud siren or whistle, and then we've seen women if they go out. I'm not saying don't wear long heels. It can be used as a weapon, but then you can't run with it. So what we suggest is wear footwear if you're going out, especially in the night, where you can actually remove and run rather than getting stuck. Like for example, high heels, it is difficult for you all to run. You all probably are aware. Then it's always better to have some company than rather be alone. Obviously, right? Security in numbers, because you don't know what the opposition is, who it's going to be. So these are important. Another thing what we recommend is have pepper spray. But then again, you need to have the presence of mind to operate the pepper spray, because when you're in panic mode, you don't even realize that you have pepper spray. Third most important thing is the action. So sometimes you don't need to fight with the perpetrator. Maybe he's looking for money. Maybe he doesn't want to so you can give money and get away. Then understanding the force. You need to see whether he wants to attack you. What is it? Whether you can handle the situation. You might be the best martial artist, but if 5 people come, practically it's not a movie. Can you handle the situation? What you need to do in that situation. So this is very important. And then the third part is use of weapons. So weapons, I'm not saying carry a knife or carry a gun. Your cell phone in a certain way can be used. Unfortunately, probably when I come to your college, we can do a complete session. I will teach you people how to use it. But unfortunately, due to limitations of this web seminar, I'm not able to show you all. Finally, one more system what we can use is the this may not be available again every time, but whenever possible, to use the society, a loud calling people. This is very important to know when you're going around, to know who's around, who's not around, at what time. So this is very important to harness the traditional support system to secure your survival. Again, this I would have shown you all more effectively if I could demonstrate, but it's fine. See, we in fighting, we refer to something as the C line, which is basically the center line. So it's the center of your body which divides the two halves, which are very vulnerable. So from the nose, throat, groin, all this are effective targets. So irrespective of the age, aggression, or size of the assailant, even a small knock on any of these parts and he will be disabled for some time, where you can make your escape. So this you need to be aware of. Okay. So again, coming to protecting yourself, always you need to remember that you're not weak. You don't need to depend on others. Attitudes and systems might change, might not change. Okay. So that is not in your hands. But what is in your hands is change yourself. Others also, see, learning to fight, you can protect others. Okay. You are precious, and then other people also depend on you. So you need to keep yourself safe. Another aspect about fighting, what I would like to tell you all is, just because you learn fighting doesn't mean you can go ahead and fight with anybody, because you don't know the odds. Sometimes it's better not to fight. We use something called the 4 Bs, where you bribe, you barter, you bargain, or finally you battle if none of it works. So we always recommend that you use these 3 before the final battle, because they're safer way of escaping. See, what we need to control is our ego. Sometimes it comes to ego where we go ahead and fight. So more than our ego, what is important is our physical security. Is because if something untoward happened to us, it is very difficult for us to get back. So these are some of the factors what I wanted to tell you. Also, fighting in the ring, fighting professionally is completely different from fighting on the road. Fighting in the ring is basically an agreement between 2 people where we shake hands and then we meet on a certain day and agree to fight. But fighting on the road, you can't predict anything. He might come with weapons, he might come with 5 people, he might take a stone and throw on you. So always what we say is avoid fighting. Use your awareness, use your perception, use your training to avoid it and get away from the situation. It's okay if your ego gets hurt. Ego gets hurt is fine, but if you get physically hurt, you cannot recover from it. If your ego gets hurt, definitely you can recover from it. What we've seen in street fighting is a small altercation, a small argument can lead to a huge fight. So always remember, ego comes in the way. It's better to bitter pill to swallow, but it's sometimes better to swallow ego and get away unhurt. So these are some of the things what I wanted to tell you people. Unfortunately, we would have done demos as I was speaking. I would have given you all a lot of real-time usable things, but unfortunately, it's not possible. So these are some of the things, briefs, what I can tell you. Can we have a question and answer session? If anybody's got any questions.
Yes, definitely. The participants can ask questions to the speaker.
Hello, sir. Tom here.
Yeah, hi. Yes.
Yeah, sir. I just want to ask you, like, is there any such course of self defense, like and if it is there, then what is the duration for that?
Uttam, see, I'll tell you what. There is a course for self-defense, right?
Yeah.
It's all about practice again. Like it's about studying for your exams. So, and martial arts is something which you study throughout your life. It's never ending because every time you do something, you get a new insight to it. But
yes,
to answer your question, there is a course for self-defense. We conduct it in Bangalore. So online would be difficult because you need to practice it in front of us. Because even one small thing, you might injure yourself. So under safe supervision, it needs to be practiced, and then we need to see that you don't injure your partner or your partner doesn't injure you. So somebody who's got experience, you need to do it under them.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Chetan, I would like to ask one thing. You were suggesting that the first remedy in a dire situation is to escape route.
Yes.
Yeah, always you are suggesting that only. That means if you foresee that you are going to face a situation, the first thing should be try to escape. Is that you are advocating?
Absolutely, absolutely. See, because you don't know the odds. You might go and fight with some local person, for example, in his area, right? You might think it's only one person, but what if 10 people come? That's why I said it's better to use the 4 Bs. That's bargain, barter, bribe. Rather than battling, always. That's if it goes into an argument. So before that, even better is to walk away. It's the most difficult thing to do, but it's the best thing to do is to walk away from that situation. Again, I said it comes down to ego again.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yes.
If there are no questions from the participant side, then
No. They should ask question. Of course, they have to ask question. They have to ask question.
Okay, so has anybody been in a situation and wants to discuss it?
Yes. That's the ideal thing. Then only he can talk more.
Yeah. It would be nice, to hear your experiences. I'm sure all the women would have had some kind of experiences. So it would be nice to hear from them. And then, because even other people, it's a learning for everybody. We learn from each other. That's a better way to learn. Yeah.
That is so true.
Chetan, I had an experience that was not on the street, but it was on a cab.
Okay.
I was traveling in a cab, and the cab driver he showed signs of intimidation. Number one, he did not switch on the meter. It was not here. It was in Manila city. So normally what they do is the moment we enter inside, the driver switches on the meter. He did not switch on the meter. Then I was trying to communicate with him in English, and he was pretending that he does not know English, and he was trying to speak in a Filipino language. Normally, in Metro Manila, almost all the cab drivers, they speak English. So there's no doubt in that. So that means he's pretending that he does not understand English. Then, when I told that where I wanted to go, he was pretending that he does not know the place. So, so I was actually, as you said, I was not interested to fight with him in the cab because it's inside the cab. I have no idea. So, as you mentioned, I was really trying to escape. So, what I did was, I still remember in the first signal when the vehicle was about to stop, I just opened the door and jumped out. Now, in Manila, the cabs are not supposed to have central locking. Therefore, the driver is not able to lock the door. Yeah. So I just as the vehicle was slowly stopping in the signal, I just opened the cab and jumped out, and I walked in the crowd. Now, of course, as you said, I did not go for fight because I do not know what kind of weapon he has. He can have gun, he can have knives. And I do not know where he is planning to take me, but I sensed that I was very cautious. So I sensed, I did not feel that, okay, all the cab drivers are good fellows or they're safe. I did not. I had the precaution, and I actually ran away and safeguard myself. I still remember it was a very, very, very critical situation actually. Had I not have the sense of alertness, I would have been, or if I go for fighting with him, I do not know what kind of weapon he had. I have no idea.
So, I think you acted very prudently in this situation, to be honest. See, because again, it's not your city, it's his city. You're a foreigner. You don't know. The odds are against you over there.
Correct.
So your action was based on your experiences, your intuition, and your awareness. So that is why I said your awareness, your perception is critical. You sensed a potential danger and you avoided it, rather than encouraging it or going forward and then coming back to a point of no return. So a lot of times what happens is we go to a point of no return. So then you can't bribe, you can't bargain, you can't do anything. You have to battle. So always I suggest avoid that. What you did was right. You disengaged, you came out safe. I don't know what happened to your luggage, but yes.
There was no luggage.
Oh, you didn't have luggage.
I was coming from the college, so there was only a college bag was with me. So
Okay. Yeah. See, again, there are multiple factors. I mean, I've been to Manila, so there you get plenty of taxis. So if one taxi is not there, the other taxi is there, metro is there. So you did the right thing because, again, if you're stranded in some remote place, then you're on the mercy of the taxi driver. You need to be with the taxi driver. But here you have multiple options. What you did was the right thing to do.
Okay, thank you.
See, because we can't background check each and every taxi driver we get into. Sometimes, yeah, situations are unforeseen. That is what I'm saying. Situations, you might be good, the other person might be good, but the situation might not be good. So that's what happened. See, and then, so to be honest, there are warning signs. You read the warning signs.
Yeah.
He's pretending. He's pretending. So what I tell all the students is read the warning signs. Again, that comes to awareness.
Sir, there is a question.
There's a question in the chat box.
Yeah.
There are two questions.
If there is a situation when a girl is already been surrounded by a group of men, so at that time, how do the girl escape?
There is no escape, frankly. You're at the mercy of the person, however trained. Even if a guy is in the situation with 4 people, even if I, with so many years, 6 years of training, whatever they show in the movies is rubbish. If four strong men are on you, there's nothing. I just have to run away. That's about it. Don't get yourself in that situation.
Okay, thank you, sir. And
even if you have pepper spray, even if you have a knife, how many people will you use it on?
Yeah,
it's not possible. It's not the movies. Remember, reality is different. Movies is different. Always.
Thank you, sir. Second question.
Hope that answers your question.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
How
so avoid those situations. Be with your friends. Avoid dark alleys again. Avoid going alone in the cabs. So avoid.
Avoidance. Thank you, sir.
Avoidance is always better because the odds are against you, right? And even the rapes, what we've seen is it's mostly gang rapes. It's more than one-on-one.
Hmm.
Again, if it's one-on-one, I can give you the tools how to defend on from that guy. So in fact, it's part of our curriculum where we tell
Hmm.
the, but if there are two guys on one girl, it's not possible.
Hmm.
But one-on-one, it is possible to defend. So that I will teach all if I'm coming there or if it's, any other medium is possible. But even two guys, it's very difficult. So if you're surrounded by men, the situation is hopeless. So please avoid it.
Thank you, sir. There is another question. How can we inspire those women in the world who are illiterate and disabled for their self-defense?
See, when it comes to illiterate, you're illiterate in the three R's, which is reading, writing, and arithmetic. You've not gone to school. But to be honest, I think even Janetius sir will second me. Illiterate means doesn't mean you're street smart. In fact, the illiterate people are more street smart than the educated people. So they know how to defend themselves better than us because they are in that environment. They are in the bad environment. Their sense of perception is much better than us. They are more street smart than us. So, and if you're talking about some village people, again, it's about awareness. It's difficult to spread the message because people think, again, what I said, they think they're weak, they're not able to defend themselves. But that is not the fact. It's about spreading awareness, like anything else. Like it's your AIDS awareness or cancer awareness. It's about spreading awareness that you can defend yourself. So that's what it is. In terms of disabled people not even get into such ventures. I know that perpetrations happen by their own relatives. It's very common because we've seen that in psychological counseling where most of the rape the perpetrators take advantage of a disabled woman or a disabled child and rape or perform molestation on them. But this again is all hushed up. So people have to come out more in the open. You need to set examples. You need to have like how you have cricketers or role models. You need to have people who come out in the open and say that this has happened to me, so that more people come out. The perpetrators are taken into court or whatever, they're put into prison and they made an example of, so they don't repeat the crime. Having said that, where there is good, there is evil. You cannot eradicate it. You can reduce it.
Okay, thank you, sir. There is
Hope that
another
answers,
question.
hope that answers your question.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
There is another question. What measures or steps the government should take to minimize rape and torture on women?
See, stringent laws. I don't know whether you're aware that only 5% of people are convicted of crimes. Forget rape. All crimes in India, only 5% of the people are actually convicted, whether it's murder or whether. So the number of conviction cases should increase. Luckily for rape, you don't need evidence. A woman's word of mouth is important. But what women again are scared of is ostracization by society. People saying that she got raped and people looking down on her. So that mindset of the person should change. The government should encourage these women to come forward and make an example of those perpetrators and stricter crimes. I think 13 years or 14 years is the sentence. It should be more strict. In fact, Saudi Arabia has got very strict laws where if a man rapes a woman, his penis is cut off. I don't think, being a democratic country, we can what do you say, that approve such draconian laws, but definitely it can become stricter. I feel women should come out more often and talk about these crimes. The rules are there. To be honest, the government has made the rules. The Constitution of India is got provision. The problem is the women coming out and telling these people, telling the cops, and also the conviction rates. The judges need to increase the conviction rates. So these are the steps what the government and the judiciary system can take.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your informative answer.
Hello, sir.
One more thing I want to tell you all to not only women, even to guys, the law is your ally. Don't be scared of the police, the perception of police, because a lot of people tell me police are like this, police are like that. But actually, you go and approach them. They're very, especially in Bangalore. I don't know, to be honest, in your place. The police are very approachable. It's how you approach them, right?
Yes,
So
true.
you need to change your approach to them so that they listen to you. That is important. And that again is building yourself. So when you go and approach them in the right way, they will take the correct action. See, because it's your law. You're a taxpayer. You're an Indian citizen. So it is in your right. The job of the police is to protect you, not to scare you. So no way that we need to be scared of them.
Thank you, sir. There is a student wanting to ask one question, sir.
Sure.
Trongtiba, you ask.
Hello, sir. Hello, Sir Chetan.
Hi.
Well, my question is not based on the law and order, but something which I've experienced already. Well, I have, experienced some gang confrontation some 2 3 years back, and actually, yeah, it was not that I was innocent and something like that. But yeah, I have involved in gang confrontation, and there was some like 9 gang guys, and then from of course I had my friends with me too, but those people were armed with some knives and all. Yeah. And then they tried to attack us, and then I was very close to getting snapped by a knife, a pocket knife. It was, but it was a folding, but it was quite long, and the knife was. So my question is like, if like what are the parts of our body, if we get snapped with a knife, like we get affected. No, I'm not trying to. Wait a minute. What are the parts of our body that we should, totally avoid, or being snapped by a knife? That if that we can give a little more time to get back to hospital or get some treatment, like.
Yeah. See, I mean, as I explained to you, the C line is the most sensitive area of our body. That's starting from our eyes, nose, the throat, the solar plexus, and the groin. The heart, the solar plexus, and the groin. So this is what we need to protect, and including our spine. So these are the delicate parts. See, a correctly placed expert swordsman can injure you, whether your leg, your hands. But these are, you have more muscle in them, so it's relatively safer if you get hurt. But the C-section is definitely the more dangerous part. Even while attacking, I teach my students to attack these areas. So that's what you need to avoid grievous injuries.
So, if I'm armed with a pocket knife, then there are some like maybe 2 3 guys who are attacking me. So I have to attack those areas.
Absolutely, absolutely. The C-section. But why do you want to get into such situations? So what
No,
I'm telling you is you need to recall why you got into this gang situation. Again,
yeah,
it's because of ego, it's because of some other fight, it's so
yeah,
and so, right?
yeah,
Correct.
some 2 3
Nobody's
years.
going to attack you simply. No, unless it's for gain, where they want to rob you of money, nobody's going to attack you simply on the road. Correct?
Yes, correct, sir.
There is a history. There is a history to this. It's not as straightforward as some gang attacked you. Correct?
Yeah, exactly. There is,
Yeah,
of course.
exactly. So please look at that avoidance. So please
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
why that happened. So that is important.
some years
You could
back,
have avoided the situation. Again, it comes to ego.
exactly. But yeah,
Yeah.
due to some like foolish ego and foolishness, I guess. I got
Yeah.
in.
No, it's okay. It happens to everybody. Even I've gone through it. It's the age. So it happens to everybody. So don't worry about it.
I guess. Thank you
As
very
long as
much.
you learn from your experience.
Of course, of course. Thank you very much.
And please don't use this against somebody, yeah?
Of course not. Yeah.
Yeah. And don't say that I told you. This is just, see, again, it's defense, it's not attack. Remember, it's not offense, it's defense. When
Yes. Yeah.
you're in
Yeah.
the corner, when you have no option, is when I suggest you to fight. Otherwise, don't fight.
Yeah, of course, I'm not. I'm not gonna fight.
Bruce Lee itself is said the best way to fight is to not to fight. You got what I'm saying? The best way to fight is not to fight.
Yeah, I got it. I mean, I've learned it. I mean, I think last year, I think, yeah, I've came across one martial art teacher, and then he taught me those things, actually, but not about this king. I mean, knife attack and all. But 4 5 years back, I was, of course, involved in some drug and this and that. So those were the times I've experienced it. So in case, like in the future, if something like that happened, then so just for that knowledge, I mean, I was seeking this sample.
Sure, sure. I hope you don't have to use that. That's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
If there are more questions from the participants, If no more questions, then thank you, Mr. Murthy, for giving your time and sharing with us your knowledge on self-defense. This session was extremely informative and beneficial. I will now call upon the convener, Mr. Uttam Nath, for the vote of thanks and to close this webinar. Sir, you can take your time.
Well, thank you, Dr. Tasinola. Respected Mr. Chetan N Murthy, our most valued invited guest, Principal Professor Janetius, St. John College, then Peter Bank, Administrative Head of St. John College, ladies and gentlemen, and all my student friends. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this great occasion. I, on behalf of the Sports Committee, St. John College, would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Chetan for delivering such a beautiful speech imbued with information. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your valuable time and the information as well. I wish our students, they have learned a lot. Yeah, and I'd also like to thank our principal, sir, and the management for their constant support and advice. And I'd also like to thank all the members of the sports committee and all the faculty members of St. John College for their help and kind advice. And I lastly would like to thank all the participants, students, for having a great event here. And thank you so much, everybody. And thank you to Chair Chetan once again. And so we will catch you up in future too. I think here, yeah, the vote of thanks end and the program is over here. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the speaker and to everyone who is present. Thank you.
Thank you, Chetan.
Thank you to all the students. Hope I didn't bore you all and hope it was informative. So that's about it. Yeah, and please, Uttam has got my email address and my number. So if you have any personal questions, you can answer me. I'll be happy to help you guys. Yeah.
Yes, sir, surely I will share that.
Yeah, share it whoever wants it. Uttam. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a nice
Bye, sir.
weekend. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, Chetan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.